Pressure. I apply the pressure. 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 I apply the pressure. 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 I apply the pressure. Yeah, pressure. Pressure. I apply the pressure.
It's a movement being formed on social media right now, and it's to have what I believe is to have Black Americans their own political style party, or we vote in people that from the lineage of Black American, not we vote in somebody that's from the Caribbeans, because I believe, and a lot of other Americans believe, that if you have a grandmother or uncle that's illegal in the country, even though we're Black, you're going to focus more on immigrant issues. And with you focusing on immigrant issues, it includes everybody. It includes the Spanish, it includes the Mexicans, it includes the whites. You can't say no white immigrants can come in, what I'm saying? So, but it's this thing called F.B.A, Foundational Black American. Is catching steam right now. I do believe that the census box has changed, because Black people, a lot of them, no longer want to be associated with African Americans. And I believe it happened the day Donald Trump was asked, was Elon Musk his favorite African American? What do you think about the F.B.A movement?
So I don't know a lot about the F.B.A movement, but I think that it's two places that I want to go here with this. I think that we need to be very mindful of separating ourselves, because, like, whether we admit it or not, we as a people is highly divided.
Well, let me ask you this, Lonnie, because I have to cut you off. Hold on one second. I have to cut you off because, all right, is the Black and Brown coalition still working? I don't see it working.
I'm not talking about, but that's the thing. I'm not talking about the Black and Brown coalition. I'm talking about the black on the black, right? Whereas you have individuals that's Black that don't have the same values. Yet you have individuals that's Black that's going to sit up here and separate from you, right? That want to pretend and act like they're not Black no more because they got a higher education, or they got a higher pay rate, right? So I'm like, we need to deal with those things first and not cause more separation within us, right? Just because you got a degree, or again, just because you in the 2-parent household, and then you're looking down on another individual that's Black just like you. So, like, to make it real quick, and and thank you for apologizing for cutting me off, but it's that field nigga, house nigga mentality, right? And until we deal with that, we can't cause more separation. Just think about it. You got Black people, right? Muslims, Christians, unorthodox this. I mean, I see Black people walking around with "Kiss Me, I'm Irish" shirts. Like, we don't know what we are, right? And we willing to become anything else to have some type of identity. And I think that we need to hone down on who we are, that we're all in the same boat together. Because if you take all of those identifiers away, what they're going to know with just looking at you is that you're Black, and they're going to deal with you as such. Right? When they don't know how much money in your pocket, when you haven't opened your mouth, and they don't know how educated you are, when they don't know where you live, right? They're going to treat you as though you're Black. And I'm like, that's the piece that we have to deal with, because before they called us Black, they called us Negro, they called us nigger, they called, like, so again, why are we letting somebody else define us in the first place? So I get it. I understand it, because they're saying we're going to define ourselves. But again, I want to make sure that, we don't separate ourselves even more, right? With, okay, we F.B.A, and with us being F.B.A, what does that mean for, like, I don't even know whether to say Black brother or sister now. You see what I'm saying? This is how complicated it gets. How do we identify ourselves? So, because it reminds me of the Marcus Garvey movement, right? I'm a Garveyite, right? Again, it's the same thing. It's history repeating itself again. And I understand, like, we need an identity, right? And for me, it's like we're searching for one of the biggest things that individuals don't talk about, but we can talk about it here. It's like when all of the leaders started getting locked up, individuals started forming bike clubs, and individuals started, I'm doing this event and I'm doing this. And it's like people just want to belong to something, man. And I'm saying, before you belong to anything, find out what it's really about, find out what the goals are, and then make sure that it's going to be able to uplift you and embody what you believe, right? And then you need to figure out what it is you truly believe, because people will pull you into some stuff. I saw so many individuals get twisted, get spent off, right? Get used and abused, all wanting to belong, right? And having no real sense of validation, not knowing who they really are. So they let people put a label on them. And I just will hope that that's not what this is. I don't think that that's what this is. So again, I can't speak to it in a way, whether it's where I could say yay or nay about it, but anything that would uplift the people, anything that would empower the people, I definitely believe in that. I just don't want to see anything else dividing us, because at this point we're too divided.
When Trump was elected to office this time, it was a large amount of immigrants that actually voted for Trump. Now, I ended up losing my job, and I had to get into a temp service and go to another job. Now, when I went to this job, it was one African American there, and the workforce was basically 90% Black Africans, right? They had supervisor positions, they had operator positions and stuff like that. And I was telling them that I'm only here for a short time, not a long time. I was telling them that, and these people cornered me and hounded me about why Black Americans kill each other. Why do we steal and rob from each other? Why do we, do this and do that? These people, I don't think, if they had numbers up, I don't think they actually like us.
Yeah, it's so I had the opportunity to be able to travel abroad, and everything that you just said, I'm always hit with those things. Individuals, we're like a enigma to the rest of the world, right? Because they don't understand what we actually go through here, right? And that's why I'm saying to you, like, we have to be mindful of that, not to get unfocused, get distracted, and not control the narrative. Because again, like you said, people talking about Chicago, they're not here in Chicago, right? They're not seeing what's going on every day. You're getting a microcosm view of what happened in one area at a certain time, and you don't even know the background of that, right? Because if we looked at the whole world like that, guess what? In every community, there's violence. In every community, guess who's causing the violence? The individuals that's in that community. It's just that it's highlighted so much when it comes to us. And individuals believe, listen to me now, they believe that we got it so well off that there should be no way that we're faced with the dilemmas that we're faced with, right? And that's because they don't know the story. And that's what I'm saying. That is the piece right there. You need to be able to understand why we're this way, why these things are happening. Because see, from what you're saying, these individuals, like I said earlier, they come from another country and they're fighting to get into this country. And then look, they're able to get supervisors positions and all of that. But then you over here, you getting laid off. How? Right? How is it that you have a criminal background? Right? How did that happen? Right? So see, those are the things that's not being talked about. Those are the things that's not being answered. And that's how we end up in those situations. And then when they sit there in front of me and I say, what you're sitting up here running to, I'm running from. And then we can figure that out, because you ain't saw the real picture yet. What you're running to, I'm running from. And when you figure that part out, you'll understand.
Dr. Claude Anderson, are you familiar with him? Dr. Claude Anderson? Well, Dr. Claude Anderson has been preaching that Black people separate themselves from other groups for over 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah, he actually makes a lot of sense. Dr. Claude Anderson is now retired. Very smart man. He worked for multiple presidents, White Houses, all type of stuff. Dr. Claude Anderson was actually the first person trying to warn. He said, if we don't do it now, it's going to backfire on us. We're going to have people that infiltrate us that don't have our best interest in mind when it comes down to politics, because right now we got the guy in Minnesota that's trying to get elected. He wants to abolish police. The guy in New York wants to do the same thing. These are, people who are African American, but they're not black. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to look that individual up because it's definitely sound like-minded. I want to learn more about them. But yeah, those are some of the things that you've heard me mention here today. I think that we have to do that. I think that if we don't do it, that is going to be to our own demise.
I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. I apply the pressure. Yeah, pressure. I apply the pressure.